unlucky last start not to finish a lot closer. He was badly held up, and they want to ride him more forward today from gate one. They want him much more handier, so he might be given a bit of a dig out of the gate.
Manazi has the blinkers going on today. Stewie Kendrick, Justin Huxtable.
Yeah, well, he stepped him up over ground as a 3-year-old in those classic races last year during the winter, and he actually went quite well, but he hasn't been able to capture anywhere near that kind of form. So a lot of these horses are coming out of the Release the Beans race a couple of weeks ago here. Whoop Moon was 5th. This guy was 9th, and he seemed to have every chance. So you're relying on those blinkers, getting him to go a bit better.
Rose of Duporth also comes out of that race. Ben Thompson rides for Stewie Kendrick.
Yeah, she was given every chance there by Damien Thornton, so she needs to lift. But back to the Wednesdays is a bit of a positive for her as well.
First Sons, trained by Garnet Taylor, with CJ Graham to claim 2.
I think the booking of CJ is a good thing. Now, this guy's won 5 of 14. I remember last preparation running 3rd at Eagle Farm over similar distance to this. Drive the Deal won, but I think Rations was 2nd. So that tells me that he's more than up to win miss. Didn't fire first up. He since had a trial. He went really well. And then won at Ipswich going forward last start, beating Majestic's Request. And with the claim, I'm hoping going forward here, I think 3rd up today is a good each-way play here.
Two Smokin Barrels is second up from a spell. Ben Arans and Wanderson de Villa.
He's one of these horses that hasn't won for a long time, and I'm thinking he probably wants something a bit further than the mile.
Here's one for you, Maxie. Star Seeker, you'd be rightly comfortable on her back. I don't think I've seen a sway back that severe ever at the races. Trained by Kevin Devine. She's won her last 2 as well. Ricky Jamison in the saddle.
She's looking very comfy there, isn't she, Ricky? Well, she's won 4 races from 16 and she's going for a hat-trick of wins. So
yeah,
it often doesn't bother them.
No, it doesn't. But
to look
be
at,
uncomfortable to ride it.
Yeah, you'd have to say so.
Yeah. What about? You finished them?
Well, I think she's probably, could possibly lead here and give a sight, but this is a bit harder.
Okay. Jack the Great ran 2nd to Star Seeker last time out. Eric Hayes and Michael Hallier.
Yeah, Star Seeker was able to lead comfy, kick clear. Jack the Great was back in the field, but he got into the clear in plenty of time. In fact, it was a good ride by Taylor Marshall on that occasion. He sort of cut the corner and hit the line hard, this mare Jack the Great, and just missed catching Star Seeker. But again, that form, they've just got to find a length on that to win this.
Love You Anytime will be the 9. Pat Duff, Jake Bayliss.
Yeah, well, he pulled up with cardiac arrhythmia last start. He's since had a trial. Very hard to recommend, but he's the kind of horse that can bob up when you least expect it.
He is. That is incredible. Hey, we have sorted out our favourite, and it is now Wolf Moon. So that has been a turnaround, Maxi.
Yes, and just going back further through his form, we mentioned that he'd had one go over, plus a mile. It was at Ipswich, I think 1680. But prior to that, I think it was about start 3 or 4, Bernie. It was a Saturday meeting at the Sunny Coast. It was the Tattersalls meeting up there.
That's right.
I remember it was the first race he won over 1600, and the other jockeys just all nodded off.
Yeah.
But remember, they let him lead. He
Yes.
slipped home in 33.7, which is unheard of, winning a mile race at the Sunny Coast.
What was the margin?
About a neck.
That's right.
Word for word, and Smart Meteor. It was a decent race. So he ran it out there. But I tell you what, it was just a half-mile gallop.
Yes.
He's run home in 33.7 that day. But look, the fact of the matter is he's won at 1600. It was earlier in his career. He's returned to that trip here. He's got the good gait. Form has been good. But I'm just going for one that I'm pretty confident that can run top 3 at around the $10. That's 5 First Sun. But granted, Wolf Moon is heading in the right direction. His last 2 runs have been very good. He doesn't have to improve at all on them to win this. And then I've got number 1, Canasta, and number 3, Manazzi, if he can get back to some of that good old form as an early 3-year-old. 5, 2, 1 and 3.
Yeah, I'm very similar. I've got Wolf Moon on top. Am I surprised he's favourite? I'm not sure. I mean, he's not had a lot of luck his last couple of races. So even though Canasta is also coming back from Saturday grade, this guy, was very good behind Blazer Trail. You mentioned how good that form is, and then you have to sort of forget that he went around. Do we want him to lead? Is he capable of leading? I don't think they'd want to lead. I think they'd want to camp right behind the speed. So we'll see. But I think he's certainly getting short enough now. At $2.60 anyway. Canasta, Danger, First Sun, definitely. And Rose of Duporth, it's certainly not beyond her. 2154. As I come to you, Don. I think we've laughed enough about that. Yeah, I forgot about it.
Gosh, Zoostar here. I wonder how much imagine like Zoostar. It's a decent service fee. And then with your foal's born, and they say, here's your foal.
Yeah.
Galloper. The Luvyouanytime has gone up. Manazzi, red cap. Rose of Duporth, blue cap. Both of the care of Stuart Kendrick. Only a handful out now. First Sun goes up. So Jack the Great and Rose of Duporth, the last 2 to come in. And Jack the Great will be the last runner to move up, Don, for the second race. Wolf Moon runs from the rails and runs the favourite, Canasta, drawn alongside of him. So the 2 big guns of the betting drawn down low. There's the light. They're set for action in race 2. Racing. Canasta and Wolf Moon began well. Star Seeker ridden for early speed, and not too far away was Rose of Duporth. First Sun on the way forward. They're followed then by Two Smokin Barrels. Manazzi in behind that division, and they get away from the other pair. Second last was Jack the Great, and last of all is Luvyouanytime. Heading to the back straight now, and Star Seeker on the outside going up alongside Canasta. Will it get the lead? First Sun third, Manazzi fourth. He handed up on Wolf Moon, finds himself in a bad spot now. 5th over on the rail in the centre, Two Smokin Barrels, and Rose of Duporth is 3 wide. About 2.5 lengths away then. Second last was Jack the Great, and one to Luvyouanytime last. 900 metres left to run. Star Seeker did eventually take control. Racing second the outside, First Sun. He got there reasonably comfortably. Manazzi is now third, and Canasta is fourth. 2 away then came Rose of Duporth, getting in a bit closer to the rail. Wolf Moon 6 on the rail. Noticing Canasta dropping the bit at the 700 metres, coming off the bit and being ridden along. Then Two Smokin Barrels third last pair, Luvyouanytime and Jack the Great. Down below the 600 metres, the first split in 64 and 23, and Star Seeker getting away from them. First Sun in second, trailing by a length and a half. In third was Manazzi being pushed along. He's getting off the fence on Wolf Moon. Canasta, the jock, still hard at it as Wolf Moon gets into the clear. Let's see if he can run on. In the straight, though, below the 300 metres, and still Star Seeker was the lead. leader. Manazzi putting in. Here comes Wolf Moon all of a sudden. Wider was Rose of Duporth. Canasta not doing enough, and the rest were struggling. But Wolf Moon with 100 metres to go, race to a clear lead, and the money will be spot on. Wolf Moon, too good. Beat home Two Smokin Barrels. Third, Love You Anytime from last. Fourth, though, the Rose of Duporth or Manazzi, followed then by Star Seeker. Canasta dropped off. Second last was Jack the Great, and First Son, it ran last. Wolf Moon the winner. Connections.
A few pairs back on the rails there, but the gallop was strong. Was desperate to lead on Star Seeker. Canasta was third, the fence over racing, and then dropped the bit. And turning into the straight, Star Seeker sort of kicked away, but got really tired late. And then Wolf Moon presented and was always going to win the race from about the 250 metres mark there. So the punters backing him right down to $2.50. That's the official price, from $3 a little earlier, getting the cash there. Certainly helped by a solid tempo up front. Two Smokin Barrels has come from last to get second, so they must have been running along. And then likewise with Love You Anytime. But two, Wolf Moon picking up another win at the 1600. They wanted to ride a little bit closer today, Bernie, but that didn't quite work out. Nevertheless, it didn't make one bit of difference.
No, it didn't. Today was Wolf Moon's day, and you know, as you said earlier, Maxie, that Blazer Trail form is so strong at this time of year, and I kind of like the fact that it last start. I mean, if you backed him, you wouldn't like it because he was boxed up with nowhere to go, but it means he had a rather pleasant time out last time. He wasn't overtaxed, and he presented here today in great order, and he got a lovely ride by Damien. But the lady who presented him here in tip-top order is Desley Forster. So we're going to chat with Desley now. And it's been a while between drinks for this guy. He almost looked shocked when he hit the front.
Yeah, that's what it looked like a little bit today. But as I said, he hasn't had much luck since he's come to the stables. But as I said, things fell his way today, which was good. Well, good ride by Damien.
He looks a very sweet horse. Is he a nice horse to have around?
Yeah, no, he's very kind at home, and he just does what he has to do. And like I said, he's very genuine. Hopefully, with that win today, I'll just pick him up and give him a bit more confidence.
Yeah. And is he a horse that, you know, appreciates having his run space, or is he a horse that you can sort of back up?
Probably back up. I said we backed him up in 10 days. Did look to go to a race on Saturday, and I just thought he probably just needed something a little bit easier and a bit more confidence, and that's why we came here today.
Yeah, we were discussing his mile win some time ago at the Sunshine Coast when he led all the way. I thought you wouldn't be too far away from the speed, but I guess perhaps ended up a pair further back than I thought, but it didn't matter.
No, it didn't matter. But I said he's got good form, this horse. He's raced Patchy, Georgie's Pride, and he's raced some very good horses. Yeah. It's just a matter of getting him back on putting his mind back where it's track, the confidence back in his game. And I think he'll probably hopefully turn him around, and he can probably go through his grades, hopefully.
And now he's in his peak fitness. You can keep him at the mile confidently.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully we just get a couple of tracks that got a bit of jar out, and it'll be even better.
Good on you, Des.
Thanks, Ben.
There she is, Desley Forster. Damien's here. So we'll just have one quick question with Damien before we come back to you, Don. Good on you, Damien. Well done. And I said to Desley, he almost looked shocked when he hit the front today, didn't he, this horse? He would look beautiful.
Yeah, he floated once he got to the front. He didn't exactly go on with it. He probably could have put 3 on him, but I think he chose otherwise. So, look, it was good. If something challenged him, he'd be confident he'd find more and do what he had to do. So, all's well as ends well. It probably hoped to be a little bit closer in the run, but they went quick. So, sort of let him go and let him do their thing up front, and he was too strong late.
Well judged. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, there he is, winning jockey Damien Thornton. Desley Forster, they take out race number 2 with Wolf Moon. The punters found him also. 2 beat 6, 9 and 4, Don.